She's early.
Well, I want to make sure I remember to do it.
1 more minute.
Are you Jamie and Mike today?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll call a meeting to order Monday, March 9th, 2026 at 4:30 PM. I'd like to welcome our guests. Roll call, please.
Zegami,
Here.
Jordan,
Here.
Hubbard's not here, Mumper
Here.
and Schuster.
Here.
Item 4, public comment.
I'm good, thanks.
All right. Item 5, approval of 2/9/26 Public Work and Utility Committee meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
Second. Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have it. Item 6, acknowledge February 2026 water and sewer permit.
Move to approve. Second.
You mean move to acknowledge? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have it. Thank you. Item 7, CIP update. Michael?
Yeah, probably start taking some of these off. Weston Avenue is done, Schofield Avenue is done. So we'll be working on just getting those restorations, some other items cleaned up here once spring finally arrives, as well as Fuller Street. Ross Ave, the design study report and other documents between Metro and Alderson have been submitted to the DOT.
So, Michael, excuse me, what happened to that 35 miles per hour? Is done deal now?
Right now, yeah, Community Life Public Safety recommended that it stay at the be the 35 that it was designed for, and it'll be on the board agenda, I think, just for as part of the speed limit ordinance in general update next week, Monday.
But the thing is, as I said before, it is designed for 35. We change it to 45, there is an accident, that's our liability.
Yeah, so the Public Safety Committee recommended to keep it at the 35 that it is currently signed at.
Good, thank you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Ross Ave, a lot of the documents there were submitted to the DOT last week, so they'll be going through, I guess, the DOT's official review on that, since that project has the state funding behind it. Similarly, myself and Kevin Lang from Marathon County have had a couple meetings with SEH regarding the Ross Ave and County Road X intersection, which the county will also then be reconstructing X from Sternberg through Eau Claire Avenue. So I guess we'll be looking to hold a public information meeting probably in mid-April for that. We have a couple different roundabout designs, and they each have their own, I guess, maybe pros and cons based on which properties are most affected by any right-of-way or impacts there, whether it's the school or some of the apartments. So I kind of really just need to get that a meeting out there with the landowners and see, what the non-negotiables are, similar to what we did at the Metro intersection, where we kind of learned what areas were more or less off limits and which areas were more agreeable with the property owners. So that'll probably be in about a month here once we get DOT's concurrence on where we're at on that project as well. I guess the Alderson Jelnick Ave intersection, we had a public information meeting last month, as well as the Bladel Avenue project. I guess Ike was there as well as Jamie. For the most part, I think people were receptive to both the projects. On Bladel, there was a couple people who were loud about not wanting sidewalk. And then as we had kind of the more breakout open house portion, a lot of the residents or several residents said, hey, I think the sidewalk's a good idea. There's small children in the area. We see a lot of people walking towards Kennedy Park or going down to Target. So it's just kind of one of those things. Nobody wants to speak up in the meeting, but then they'll tell you what they think later on when the neighbors maybe aren't figuring out who you are, where you live. But we'll be looking to get a Concord and Bayberry meeting probably in that early April timeframe here as well. And then I guess the well 4 PFAS project is more or less wrapped up with a couple punch list items left. And then 8 Pine has mobilized their construction trailer to get started on the iron manganese removal portion of that project now, which will be kind of called the well 3 PFAS pretreatment project. And then subdivision projects, Green Tree Acres is still going. They'll have access off of Ross Avenue during weight limit times here. Infrastructure wise, they're more or less done what they are putting in houses. And the Granite Ridge subdivision has PGAs getting the water and sewer lines in. They got all their materials in and and their equipment's in. So a lot of their work they'll be able to do through the spring weight limit time here. They'll just need a fuel truck every now and then to get back there to fuel up their equipment. And then Timber Ridge does have a plat on the Plan Commission for adding a few more lots. For the most part, they're using existing utilities, but they will have to make a street cut in Birch Street and have a small extension on Green Pastures.
Question for Michael? Okay. Street operation update?
Yes, past month we had about 8 plowable snow events in the month of February. There's also a handful of times that we had to send trucks out for sanding and drifting in areas. In that time frame, the crews got out, they're patching, they're trying to keep up with it. They're chasing right now with the rain, the water getting in the puddles, keeps popping the patch out. We normally have about 2 crews out there of two guys, trying to just keep up with the puddles that keep popping. We had tree cutting on the Oakland River Trail. DPW and the parks helped to remove all the dead ash trees. They brushed them out, were able to skid them out. They made a roadway to get back in there with a truck and some equipment. They used the method of cutting the trees closest to the trail first and then moved on into the woods so that the standing dead trees did not fall. We also had snow removal operation, which along with the DPW, the parks and utility staff help with this process. Takes a total of 14 pieces of equipment to make the operation run. And that's why we have to rely on other departments mainly to drive truck for us. The 2 graders, the 3 unloaders, the 2 with snow blowers, 6 haul trucks, 1 patrol truck, and a sidewalk machine to clean up the end of the driveways. Snow removal helps with the melting process so the ice doesn't build up in the curb line and allows the inlets to be open so that there's minimal water drain or pulling up on the streets. And the DPW also had to go back and re-steam some culverts that are known by staff that refreeze during these cycles. So that was just a handful of times that we had to go back out and re-steam some culverts.
How did that pipe got full of ice?
That does not drain very fast through that area. So it's just like a running spring there. It's on the bottom of the hill on Heron. It just slowly was
It's building
it just
up.
keeps building up. It runs in, builds up, so. One we always have problems with almost every year. And then we got the shop report here, from left to right. We got 15, which is a dump truck for service and check over. They completed the hydro seeder task, building, mounting it to its own trailer. The sidewalk machine had a thermostat and regen issues with motor. The end loader plow, the wing needed repair. And number 32, another end loader, the differential and gearbox fluids were changed. Which is not pictured here is unit 21 had a hydraulic dump motor replaced. Unit 17, service and replace a water pump. Unit 29, repair swap loader plugins. 231 had spinner repairs. Unit 9 was a service. 701 are the message boards, replace the batteries. And unit 32 wing operational issues were fixed. Additional work, repairs to cutting edges made during snow removal process, minor repairs to snow plowing equipment, continue leaf vac prep, truck chassis and upfitting bids are out on truck unit 10, and Wisconsin surplus items are listed. Auction is supposed to end as of tomorrow.
It's just a brief note on the auction. Our vac truck is currently at $332,000, like $500. We're hoping to get 250,000, so we're about $80,000 higher than what we're, I guess, hoping for as a minimum, and still a day or a night here. We're guessing we'll probably see that go up even higher. So I guess it's just kind of a testament to the staff and the guys for how well they take care of our equipment, because as people come in to look at it, they go, wow, this is a nice piece of equipment that I guess garners a lot of interest then on the market there.
Just a couple of questions on it. Are they going back to finish the ash trees?
Yes, yeah, but the roadway we lost it with the temperature. We were able to just get as much as we possibly could out of there. So.
And then my second question is when they went to do that, and I understand why, I understand why after I read the packet, but there was an area where the water flowed underneath a bridge there.
Yep.
And then they filled it in, I assume so they could get the equipment over
Correct.
because they couldn't get it across the bridge. It was too narrow.
Correct.
And then are they gonna remove that?
Yes, that will get removed.
It will. Okay, that's what my question
Yeah, it'll
was.
just get dug out and thrown back to the side.
Yeah, because there's no, I'm like, well, that water's going somewhere and it's not going where it used to.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna get done.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Good. Right,
Yeah.
item 9.
Yeah, I understand.
Utility operation update, Josh?
Yeah, water side of things, we're finally able to get our 3-inch meter over at Cary communicating, so our guys don't have to go into the plant every time to get numbers. Well, we replaced the bag filters that lead to the PFAS treatment vessels. Our guys installed some ally meters throughout the village distribution system. We're hoping this can come into play probably more so into next year, where we have it kind of spread out through some of our extremities of our system, that we can kind of start tracking the actual temperatures that some of the residents are seeing entering the house, so we can kind of see if there's some possible freeze ups that are going to be happening. We continue with our 1.5-inch, 2-inch meter change outs. I think we're pretty close to being wrapped up, maybe a couple 2-inch left. That's kind of coinciding with our meter card maintenance. We have a new program that we're trying to run everything through. They took care of one freeze up on Business 51. Treatment plant overhead fill continued, waiting on the programming for the computer to get back to us here. Maintained and cleaned our business park tower, finalized our water utility inventory. Kind of helps out with some of our PSC reporting. You guys continued on disassembling some of the hydrants for stock parts for this coming season. Continued our private well sampling program. Sanitary side of things, had a number of lift station issues that the guys dealt with. Some general maintenance at our Mesker location. Harlan lift station had a phase fail they had to deal with, Park Terrace power fail, and replaced a starter breaker. Fox Street lift station, they had a pull pump number 2 for some maintenance. Can't remember exactly what was wrong with 7 and 8's little lift station there. I think it had some infiltration. It kind of burnt up. I think we had to order a new pump for that one. Did some televising on Bellwood for an upcoming project that Rothschild's going to be overlaying over there. Assisted Rothschild with one last sewer plug. I believe they have their truck back, or they could bid on a nice truck if they would like to. Conducted some Vector truck maintenance, cleaned our pH probes, as well as cleaned some of our bad spots. Our monthly generator, our standby generator maintenance and filter replacements. Diggers tickets are starting to come in a little more frequently. Same thing with some work orders. Not a lot of contract work on here. Michael touched on our kind of well 4 and 3 portion. Project wealth number 3 should be getting underway here this month. Michael touched on Green Tree. There's some lateral work going in there. We're preparing for a valve exercising program. Hopefully it'll not freeze up and everything frozen into the next couple months here. Outside of that, we got our customers added and new connections and changes in residency there, and our water pumped for the last couple months. As well as our wastewater flows and lift station hours.
Question for Josh? Thank you. Item 10, Military Road Utility Engineering Service Contract. Michael?
Yeah, so Rothschild is reconstructing Military Road between Volkman and Evelyn Street. In that area, we own the water and sewer facilities, as that was once part of the town of Weston, and when Rothschild annexed, we kept the utilities in Rothschild there. As part of the rotary project, there's a creek that crosses just that'd be west of Gasca Park. They're replacing the large culverts there. As they do that, our water main is in conflict. So the safest and easiest way to, probably most constructability wise, the only approach we could figure out how to do is we're gonna have to remove part of our water main, let them install the new culverts, and then reinstall the water main above that. And then there's one other section where the proposed storm sewer is in conflict with our water main, so we'll have to do a vertical offset underneath it. So as part of that, there's some water design included in the project. And then the Harlan Ave lift station also has a force main that goes through there. So during construction, there's going to need to be some care taken to make sure that is stabilized and doesn't end up being, I guess, I don't know if it'll likely be undermined, so it needs to be braced during construction. So there's some extra inspection related to that to make sure that that's taken care of. So the contract proposed from MSA, I was able to get negotiated down to the 12,700 mark, which is about half of what it was when we first started talking about what their services for this was going to be. So
I think the engineer for the Rothschild.
they're doing Rothschild's work, yeah.
So, question I have, if you put that type of wall that covers, how much cover it has?
It still has probably about 6 feet. That's how it currently is. That the culverts exist, and then there's maybe a foot is what it seems like right now. And then our water main currently is right there underneath the roadway. So
that pipe is cold all the time anyway. So are we going to insulate under?
yeah, we'll insulate above and under.
Why couldn't we just put them under the pipe and then insulate the top?
I think it'd be a deep dive. I mean, the culvert is, trying to think of what the size is, but it is several. I wanna say it's probably 4 or 5 feet, so then to go under that. I mean, it would be a bigger excavation, it'd be a lot more of a water main project, I guess, than
Well, that, you can slide that. Because they're gonna excavate that anyway.
yeah.
Oh, so whatever you excavating below that, fine. Let's say if you put up 3, 4 feet and then put insulation at top, right? That way you won't have to worry about the bottom and the top. Just like the,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, I mean, the way it's been is, I guess how it's existed for probably 40 to 50 years, so.
yeah,
I don't think we've had any freezing issues over there, so
you did have a
we have not.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, Roy had a question.
What's the reason that we own this?
It all used to be Weston Utility, so the drainage area is really the big thing, so the sewer flows. If we were to try to break that up, it would be kind of hard to say who owns what and how it all goes, so it's our utility, I guess. It was the town of Weston, and then in 1992-ish, the village of Rothschild annexed that area from the town, and everything sewer wise, the way it flows, so the sewer and water utilities in those areas where it was part of the Weston Sanitary District stayed as Weston Utilities.
I mean, do
I think,
we have service on the other side of it or both sides of it, and therefore that's why we kept it?
No, I think it
It's
was
kind of the-
all kept.
Yeah, and anything that
It was
we
all kept.
owned
When
was
they
kept.
annexed that portion, we
Yeah.
still maintained the water sewer utility, which is kind of funny, but it's.
I was just reading this and I'm like, why did we do this? Why did we?
well,
It
it's
was
everything
town
on
of
Center
Weston.
Street. On Center Street, they annex everything.
Mhm.
We just finished the sewer and water through that area. Then they annexed it. But they didn't want to pay for sewer and water, all the construction costs, everything else. So they kept it.
Well, we've kept it in all that area,
Yes.
in the whole area that was annexed. It's all
That's
Western
what
water,
this,
Western utilities.
I think that's what they started, Tom to think about, change that to the village. Because with that, also we lost 4,000 population from that area.
Is it that much?
Yeah,
Okay.
so, but,
And then there are a lot
That
of,
easy.
Well, it'd be nice to sell it to them for profit, but they
yeah,
would probably never take it because it would cost them a fortune to cut it off at the boundaries.
that came up a couple administrators ago for Rothschild, and when we put a number to it, it wasn't a number that I think they were willing to pay. And there's a lot of interdependencies. I mean, everything's based on gravity flow of the sewer. So I mean, there's several points where something flows from the corporate limits of Rothschild back into Weston, and then from Weston into the corporate limits of Rothschild. So if we were to say you own what's in your limits and we own what's in ours, it would be kind of hard to track on the sewer flow side, and then on the water side, it'd create a lot more dead ends and a lot of our loops wouldn't exist anymore. Even like our Weston Avenue project we did with Rothschild between Alderson and Birch. We have the Summit Water Tower that's in Rothschild up on the hill there. And then we ran to connect to the rest of our Weston system along Weston Avenue. So, and that was so that we kind of could complete that loop and ensure we had adequate water supply on the south side of the highway. So it would, if we got rid of that and had to close it off and say this is the Weston system, that's the Rothschild system, I think both of our water systems would be like, hey, we got a lot of dead ends now that we need to try to fix or take care of. So
That's what you have, is dead ends.
yeah.
Good, thank you.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add to it? Because I was thinking that's a small enough project, we can do it in-house. But if those guys are there and
They're there already, and Ike's got his hands full with 4 other projects right now. So.
You can manage it, he's too young and, you know.
Child dropped another one, yeah, another one of those.
Yeah, I guess had we gotten word or a heads up a little sooner, probably would have been able to get ahead of it a little more, but
I thought you said they weren't gonna do it. What happened?
that was a Volkman over by Business 51. So every now and then they'll say, hey, we want to do this project, and then you don't hear about it ever again. Then other ones you hear about, and then 2 years later, all of a sudden it's, oh yeah, by the way, we're doing that one now. It's like,
Okay, what's your wishes?
I'll move to approve the contract with MSA for 12,700.
Is there a second?
Second.
No change order, right? Michael?
no, that'll be it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have it. Thank you. Item 11. Business 51, a storm compound engineering service contract amendment.
Yeah.
Michael?
Yep, so we're working with Strand Associates on that storm pond design along with Rothschild and Schofield.
Excuse me, Mike.
Yep.
I didn't understand their insurance here. MSA insurance. What is saying, really? I'm sorry.
All right. You're backing up for just a minute, right?
Yeah. Just a question, getting to the insurance part of it.
Yeah, we have a ongoing certificate of insurance with MSA. I can pull it, but we don't pay for additional.
Well, we didn't ask for additional.
No, we don't. So we do have their certificate of insurance for other projects, and they send us a renewal every year.
I just want us to read those things. But I didn't quite understand it.
So you've got a set amount that they normally have, and they're just saying if you change how much.
Yeah, if we
need,
request
it costs
more.
us more, you're paying for it,
Correct.
right? Is
Yeah.
that the-
It's only a couple lines.
It's page 28 of the packet, kind of at the bottom, number 18.
Number 18, right?
Yeah. So their workers' comp, general liability, professional liability insurance is their general, what they carry. So we do have that certificate from them.
So how much insurance they have? 1 million?
Yeah, it's at least $1 million, if not 2.
I would guess, yeah. 2, or, something over the top of it.
Yeah.
See, that's the third line. If the owner require coverage or no, okay.
Yeah, I think they're saying it's just to protect themselves, like if, I don't know if they have 2 million or 5 million, but all of a sudden we say, oh, you have to have 10, and they go, well, now we gotta pay more, right?
I don't have a problem with that. You're right. I agree with you. I just. With the liability, I must say, the owner for any. Such insurance covers. Okay, you're good.
Okay.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we'll work with Strand on the Clean Water Fund application. We had some comments back from DNR where they wanted additional modeling done because they said it wasn't quite clear how much all the sub basins were contributing, and the DOT right of way as well. They want it broken out better. So I guess the hope is by improving the modeling, we can get additional points for our Clean Water Fund loan and hopefully get principal forgiveness on it. For instance, the PFAS project we had for well 4, we had about a $2.8 million loan. We got 50% principal forgiveness. So the state gives us 2.8 million. We only have to pay them back 1.4. This pond has about a $3 million estimate on it initially. So if we were to get principal forgiveness, hopefully that'd be in the $1 to $1.5 million range. So I guess if we can do a little extra modeling to potentially get us $1 million in principal forgiveness, I think it's worth it. And
So it's not definite, it's maybe.
it's a maybe, yeah, correct. But right now, and the DOT has their stormwater, they do have some stormwater requirements, so I think they're kind of trying to figure out if this is a project that would be, how beneficial it truly is to the DOT right of way. So they're kind of making us model their own right of way to see if it's worth them being a partner on this project as well. And then maybe if they are a partner on this project, then we're no longer 70.5%, maybe we're only 60% or some other number of the total cost. So even if we don't maybe get principal forgiveness, maybe it becomes enough where the DOT says this pond is worthwhile for us and we want to partner on the project as well.
Well, I think if DOT partner, maybe DNR give this,
Correct, yeah.
because they help them more. Question,
Yeah, so the total contract is for 13.5. Our portion is a little over 9,500. Rothschild and Schofield both said they were okay with us moving forward with it. So,
what's the promotion on that?
Oh, there's plenty of money in the stormwater budget.
correct, yeah.
I'll move to recommend the village board approve the contract amendment with Strand Associates for the design and modeling the Weston storm pond for an amount of 13,500. Raising the contract amount to 145,860.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have it. Thank you. Item 12, sewer televising software contract.
Yep. So last year, maybe you remember, we had purchased the replacement sewer televising camera. As noted in Josh's report, we went out and took care of the Bellwood Ave sewer televising earlier this year. By televising, it allows us to see where existing pipe conditions, where the main thing we're really looking for is infiltration and any, I guess, high solids loadings to see if, places that are supposed to have grease traps or sand pits are effectively cleaning those, or if we're still getting a lot of deposits, and, we can kind of trace back to where that source is and follow up with those customers. So being able to identify those high flows and pinpoint exactly where it's coming from is extremely helpful. Our current software, the guys have to go out, they run the camera, they make notes, and then we bring the video back, we download it, and then somebody has to put in our mapping software so that we can easily find it again and note it on the GIS maps. This software, the IT pipes, would allow that to essentially be seamless. So as the guys are out in the field using it, they'd be clicking on the map saying, I'm going from this manhole to this manhole. As soon as the camera or the computer device would go and get a Wi-Fi connection again, it would automatically upload that information to the cloud, and our pipes then, we can set defect levels. So if there's a lot of clear water discharges or pipe cracks, however we want to code it, the map would also show a red pipe for that segment saying you have an issue here. So really it would eliminate a big time consuming activity as far as downloading the videos and attaching those back to the GIS layers so that we can find it. And then it also allow us, as we go to do our sewer lining projects, easily identify which segments we need, how much of that is 8-inch pipe, 10-inch pipe, whatever size, and kind of get those projects put together a lot quicker as well. And then additionally, one of the concerns Nate always had is that the televising files are data heavy. So IT pipes would house the video files. And so they wouldn't be bogging down our system. So if we were trying to upload all those and then access them remotely on the mapping software, it would really kind of make it hard for anybody else to use that map at that same time. So this kind of takes care of that issue as well. We had met with a couple different companies, and the IT pipes was the one that seemed to be the best fit as far as what it does and the simplicity of using it, how well it integrates with the systems we already have by just eliminating that manual entry. Historically, we had 90,000 in the budget for televising. With the new camera, we moved that down to 10. So for contracted services, so the $9,000 annual fee that would come with this is within that budget. So then it's really the $5,000 implementation cost that we have. That'd be part of the sewer mapping budget, which is currently $22,463. That position has been vacant so far this year and most of last year. So
What does that mean? Is that a typo?
the what?
And it says, and that position is currently vacant?
Well, we had a GIS person who did manually entered all this stuff, and we haven't filled the GIS technician spot
I
yet.
understand.
Yeah.
It was like you're talking about software, then it was like you're talking about like,
Yeah, so we had a person, so I guess that's what I was trying to say. is
okay,
we-
I wasn't clear on that, but
So this was a job that an individual was having to do, and,
gotcha.
you know,
My one question on what you referenced, like, if you try to leave, do you have the right then to take those
Yeah.
files with you? Or is it now they're on our server and that's our hook to keep you as a customer?
no, we would have the right back to the data files, but then I guess it goes back to us then having to store it on our server. Or,
Well, I understand why
Yeah.
you want, I just wanted to make sure like it wasn't one of those things like, oh yeah, we'll save it all for you. Well, you want to take it to go to leave to a better offer? Sorry.
yeah, no, we'd be able to get it back, but
Okay.
then we run into the issue of, okay, now we get all these video files again, and it's not, yeah.
Is the other community using that?
They did give us a case study from, I forget where it was. They had a bunch of case studies. This one was only, I think, 2 pages, so I think I used this one because otherwise, so this was Alexandria, Alabama, or Alexander City, Alabama. But they do have it in a bunch of other cities.
Well, they're a big city.
But this is much cheaper than having a position to fill, right?
Yeah, or
Was that just part of what somebody did?
that was part of what they did, and that's the engineering tech position that we're trying to kind of revamp, so it's not as GIS centric and is really more of a CAD tech to help Ike with design moving forward and construction inspection. So getting some of the manual data entry, the tedious tasks off of somebody's plate is kind of really what we're looking for. I mean, as we look at AI and the future of, a lot of positions, this is kind of one where it is, somebody's job was, I don't want to say it was mind numbing, but it was somewhat mind numbing to, read the report or the video and go, okay, it started at this manhole in Alderson to that manhole at, Jelnik, and, so if that can just be done automatically, it saves that step and it'd free up that position to do other more valuable tasks.
It sounds like, from what I'm reading, it would save considerable money. It'd
Yeah,
pay for itself.
it'd save time, correct, yeah. I don't know if it'd necessarily save money, but it does save a lot of time, and then it
Well,
helps us get,
time is money.
time is money, yeah.
It'll help us spend the money that we have allocated for lining and, because it feels like we're spinning our wheels sometime going through the old videos again to rehash like, well, this portion was good, this portion was bad, we have the televising, where is it? Oh yeah, it's JKN 253 so this stuff would just be a visual representation of us to kind of highlight it, and then we can kind of get
And
some
you're
projects
confident
rolling.
this program will do it.
I mean, I was very skeptical at first because I thought we could do it in-house, but the stuff that they showed us, it's like, I mean, for the price, it was like, a no-brainer to help us kind of keep the ball rolling on some of the stuff that we need to get done.
I'll move to approve the purchase, or you got other questions?
Well, give me a chance.
Well, you can always raise it after I make it.
It's all right. So the historical data that you have that's already on the GIS system
Yep.
is gonna take all of that also and put it in the same cloud file, so to speak?
Yeah, it sounded like that $5,000 implementation cost, we would be able to give them,
And that's enough money for them to take all your existing data and add it to the go forward part?
they say it is, yes.
There might be a little legwork for us to maybe,
That was my.
like some of our files are, you know, our file names are just named like Schofield Ave or something, where we may have to Schofield Ave .1, Schofield Ave .2, or whatever it might be. So we might have to go in there and actually kind of identify a little more particular location of some of this stuff. But a lot of our data is set up the proper way to be uploaded. So there might be some that we might have to review if they have questions on it. But they said they can take it and review it, and then we might have to have a little bit of work on our end, but it should be able to be
So
uploaded.
then the idea is to have the entire system with all the historical data in one place that you can access then remotely.
Correct, yeah.
That would be a good deal if they can do it.
Well, I would guess they're losing the first year and making it up as they go forward, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That would be my guess.
once it exists, I don't know how much extra effort they're really putting
Exactly.
into it, yeah.
Yeah, they probably year one, they don't make any money, and years, you know, going forward is when they get it back.
The reason I ask if other community, because see what kind of difficulty we have with this, if you don't know. There's always some challenges today.
Yeah, no, I mean, we run into that with any software purchase, you know, but we had them run through several demos and, you know, look through case studies. It's not a, how do I want to phrase it? You know, we've looked at other asset management softwares that are, you know, 60, 70,000 a year plus, and doesn't necessarily do what we want it to do. That this is a one that seems to fit the mold of what we're looking for, and you know, so it's not something we're just jumping into and hoping like it, you know, it gives us the information we want, and we've been, you know, kind of laboring over to a certain extent the last several years trying to get that done ourselves in-house. So you know, just being able to get the videos uploaded on the pipe segments itself is a huge win.
For 9,000 annually, what we get out of it?
That we get essentially that's our software rental fee every year. So the use of it to upload,
Update are free?
yeah, any updates and
9,000?
correct, yeah. Yeah, everything's really a subscription base now, so it's no longer you're buying a software and then as the next version comes out, you have to buy the next version. We just have the annual subscription, and any updates or modifications they make, we'll get those as well.
It would be good to talk to one of those guys using it.
Sure,
You can make the time,
yeah,
you know, from that and see what they're.
sure.
What's that motion? Yes.
I'll move to approve the purchase, with IT pipe software for 2026, cost of 14,000. Sounds like a deal to me.
Is there a second
Second.
discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oops. I have it, thank you. Item 13, 2026. Annual street maintenance plan and budget.
So I guess I went through where we're at for our our plan for the 2026 street maintenance, looking to do some chip sealing, crack sealing, asphalt overlays, our gilsonite sealing, and then concrete repairs along Schofield Ave, between Mesker and Teagan. I guess we feel pretty good about the estimated values on a lot of this work. This concrete repairs are a little trickier. We looked at the city of Wausau bid a concrete repair project in February, and the difference between the low bidder and kind of the average bidder is almost, you know, the low bid is about $1,000 a panel, and the average bid is about $1,800 a panel. So, you know, when it's almost twice as much, it's a little hard to definitively say if we got the low bid, I'd feel good saying we can get from Mesker to Teagan. If we get something more in the average to high bidders, you know, it might only be a section of that or maybe just the eastbound lanes. So I guess we have about 200,000 in the 2026 budget for that. I guess right at the table with the segments we have listed, we still have a contingency of just under 37,000. So if bids come in a little higher, we got money to cover that. Or if things come in lower, I guess we can always maybe look at adding another street or segment of street if we so choose. This is kind of always I feel like the hardest part is we have a budget and we try to fit in the maintenance efforts to the budget instead of this is what we should be doing this year and this is how much money it's gonna cost, but I guess it is what it is. So we do have 300,000 of CIP funding for the overlays and concrete repairs that we'd be implementing, as well as the 600,000 in the maintenance budget as part of the operating fund. So I guess I had a map included in there. And then I also kind of just went through some updates to where we're at. It's always a good reminder. We have 119 centerline miles of roads. So this plan covers
5%.
Yeah, I mean, a small amount, or I guess an amount at least of that. Then, so our operating budget year to year for public works has been, I'd say, fairly steady. Don't really increase a whole lot or decrease a whole lot over the last 6-7 years. So been trying to really get a lot more of the lower cost efforts, but the concrete repairs kind of take up they're expensive and you don't get as far down the road with those. But at the same time, a concrete road doesn't have a lot of annual maintenance. That roadway was, I think, 2001 it was built. So it's kind of the first main maintenance in that area in 25 years. So, but yeah.
So the estimated costs are your best guess then?
Yeah, and we, met with American Asphalt last week and kind of asked them where asphalt costs were coming in, and so we have a pretty good handle on where those prices come. With some of the things happening in the world right now, that may change.
Just gonna ask you, how much does oil price affect those numbers?
Yeah, I mean, when you talk to a lot of the asphalt guys, they buy essentially a year ahead. They get the reserves, but so maybe 2026 will be okay. In 2027, we might be hit a little harder. Fuel prices though, trucking is a component of a lot of these things. So we'll see where we end up. So that's why we always try to budget a little bit of contingency, and if prices come in high, then we, maybe peel back a couple projects too. So. But yeah, I guess as we look at our data, this from the used to be the Wisconsin Taxpayer Alliance. It's the Wisconsin Policy Forum. We look at ourselves in the kind of central Wisconsin area. We do spend the third lowest per mile and the second lowest per capita. So we spend about $9,700 less per mile than the average central Wisconsin community. So if we spent the average amount, that'd be about another $1.1 million on streets, which would get us more in that 10 to probably 12% of our streets every year that we'd like to get to. So that's just a graphical representation of that. Our transportation aids, we are starting to get back on the upswing. Back in 2011, we peaked at 1.248 million. And then we kind of stopped doing work as that 2009, 2010 recession kind of hit. So then the aids kind of start lagging behind as we stopped investing in the roads or reinvesting in them. And then we bottomed out in about 2020, 2021. And now we've been on this uptick. And I guess as I try to tell everyone during budget time and budget season, the reason we hit that peak in valley in 2011 is because we stopped doing work on our roads and we started using our infrastructure money on things other than infrastructure. So then we lost that revenue and it's hard to gain it back. It doesn't come easy. And that's kind of where we've been going these last few years. We've had, kind of decreases or status quo operating budgets, but we've had, increases to our transportation aids. So just trying to make sure as we get more money for roads and infrastructure that we keep spending that on roads and infrastructure. So I guess that, and then also how the transportation aid formula is calculated. It's based on a maximum of 115% of the year prior, or a minimum would be 90% of the year prior. So as we went down, we were getting 90% of the year prior. It should have been less. And right now, we're getting capped at the 115. So we have this negative $438,000 adjustment on our transportation aid calculation. So we're getting 970 this year instead of the 1.4 that we'd be getting if we were just using the formula directly. It's a lot of information, but okay. I think it tells a good story of where we're at and how our spending has varied over the years. Or we've tried to keep steady and keep our roads in good condition with kind of the same resources year over year. So as we talk about fuel prices and other things, we've been pretty flexible and good at adjusting and modifying our programs and finding different ways and alternatives to keep our streets in good condition. So
are we approving a plan and the budget or just the plan?
well, the budget is what's in the budget for 2026. So this is how we'd be looking to spend that budget. So I guess that's what we're looking for. And then if everyone's in agreement with this is how we can spend these funds, we'll go put the bids on the street and have those at the April meeting for award. And hopefully they come back at what we're estimating them to be. So we'd be looking to put the bid packets together based on these streets.
Or less,
Or less.
then we can do more.
Yeah, ideally, we'd like to be able to do more, but I did add a little extra contingency to the projects just to hopefully hedge the
What, that 36,000, what percentage is that?
well, not the 36,000 is leftover. It's the unit cost that I use to kind of say this is how much it is per square yard. The 36 is the contingency for the whole fund, but even just, to say that, I don't know what that comes out as quick, but this many square yards of gilsonite is 24,000. There's a number there. Last year we were right around $1 a square yard, so this is a little more than $1 a square yard. Same thing with the overlays with the crack sealing. It's add an extra percentage on top of it just to ensure we don't overpromise what we can get done.
Question?
No, I think he's done a great job of explaining it, and we don't want to get behind.
Yeah.
So I'm in agreement with, based on how those bids come in, if you can do a little more with the same amount of money, that would be a good thing to do.
Yep.
Rather than not spend it.
Yeah.
I'll accept the motion on this.
I move to recommend the village board approve the 2026 street maintenance plan as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have it. Thank you. All right, item 14, hospital area repaving change order.
Yep.
That 1 million has to be changed. We can't have it like that.
Okay, yeah, we can change
Change it to something else, to the contract or whatever, because we never issued such a change order.
yeah, so like I said, the wording on that, so the original contract was the base bid, which was for the work on Commerce and Ryan Street. So change order 1 was alternates 1 and 2 being added to the contract. So, and I think even on the pay apps, we have the original contract as being the 2.2 or 2.3 million, whatever that number ends up being off the top of my head. So we can change that so that it is so the original contract price is those two numbers together, because change orders, I guess 2 and 3 were time extensions. Not the price one was change order 1, which was adding the alternates from the hospital area. Because when we bid that project, the board initially approved just the business park area, and then came back the next meeting and approved the alternates. So the original contract was signed as the business park area. So maybe in hindsight, we should have made it a second project and called it the hospital area repaving instead of lumping them together, but we can change that. So it,
You please?
yep.
Okay. And this change order is $277,603.76. And how does that work? How did we come to that?
So it's essentially the value of work left on Birch Street. So with the TIF 1 expenditure period ends March 31st here of 2026. So in talking with Jessica, we wanted to make sure that any contracts we had for any work outstanding in the TIF would be covered. So if we had a contract that was for less, potentially through audits, we would be asked to remove that money from the TIF, any TIF expenditure, and we would have to use general fund monies for anything over that original contract amount. So I just want to clean up the contract before the expenditure period ends, so we can ensure that work is TIF eligible.
Question.
Otherwise, Birch Street hasn't been done, and I guess that'd be the alternate is we just don't do anything to Birch Street and we're fine. But
So what is gonna do in Birch Street?
we'd mill out the existing asphalt and repave it
David?
from Weston Avenue north to Cranberry,
Oh,
past the hospital there.
I was thinking other places.
Oh, yeah. So on the north side of the highway, that one we had,
There, that's what I was thinking about.
yeah, that one we submitted a local road improvement grant for, and I think currently have that slated in like the 2028, 2029 time period. So that project's in the horizon.
Well, the thing is, you gotta see people, the bicyclists use the bridge and then they go through that portion of the road.
Yeah.
And with those tiny tires, it can take a bump really.
Yeah.
So,
I just heard you need to buy another bike, right? Like, there's always a reason to buy another bike, slightly more. The appropriate amount of bikes to own is.
actually, road bike has very tiny tire with the very high pressure, 120 PSI. So, considering with the mountain bike, which is much wider and take only 40, 45 PSI. So when you have that kind of a high pressure, that tire is like a piece of a rock, and you go through that bump, you definitely get the flat tire.
Did I understand you correctly? The TIF ends March 31st,
The expenditure.
the expenditures,
Yep.
but not the TIF.
No, TIF 1 will probably be open
Okay.
this year but likely close next year, I do
And
believe.
the idea is to get it in the TIF rather than the general.
Correct, yeah, because otherwise we'd be borrowing,
Right.
for that additional amounts.
Any what's your wishes?
I'll move to recommend the village board approve change order number 4 for $277,603.76 for the 2025 various street rehabilitation projects.
Second,
Discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed? I have it. Item 15. Road to rehabilitation.
I don't know if Josh, did we get the quotes in yet today?
No, I didn't get any quotes. From Municipal well, no, they were gonna get me one this week and I hadn't heard back from CTW at all, but he was on vacation the last 2 weeks, so he should be getting me something. I should have something this week, hopefully.
Okay. But yeah, so I guess we were hoping to have quotes here, but looking to do a rehab at well 2, which is the Carry well, which if you want to talk about weird parts of our utility system, this is definitely one of those. Where this is an island system by Cedar Creek, right next to the Carry plant across from Culver's there. So we have 2 customers, which is Carry Ingredients or Food Inc. And then Rib Mountain Metro Sewerage District across the river. But this well is our highest pumped well individually. It essentially pumps nonstop all day, every day, and provides a lot of water to that plant. So they have a planned shutdown in May, so we're looking to do a well rehab while the plant is shut down. If we have to do a well rehab outside of shutdowns, the Village of Rothschild supplies Carry, and we have to pay then the water rate that Rothschild charges us, which is more than our water rates that we are allowed to charge Carry. So we lose money anytime Rothschild provides water to them. So really, we're just trying to time this so that we can rehab the well at a time when we're not going to be losing a large sum of money by having Rothschild supply them with water.
So
So
what's the water quality in there? Is the iron and manganese? or-
it's high in manganese. The majority of the water they have is used for cooling of their product. So it's a cheap way for them to cool their product, and but it's very water intensive. So the water quality isn't as much of an importance to them as much as capacity or quantity of water.
And there's no PFAS.
It's under the 4 parts per trillion, so I'm not going to say it's no, but it is low, and it's underneath the proposed or the trying to still figure out it's underneath the EPA levels, and what I believe will be the Wisconsin levels here shortly.
So how long it take to rehab that well? What are we gonna do for rehab? That's for that.
So usually pull the casing, scrub that. They'll clean out any of the bowls, look at if the pump is, needs any new parts. So they completely pull it, inspect it, clean the well casing, and then they'll put it back together.
We charge them the same rate, a higher rate than for the part that we own that services.
So those customers are direct Weston customers. They're not, Rothschild isn't our customer. So like my mom still lives in that part of Rothschild, but is a Weston utility customer. So if she gets a bill from Weston Utilities, like Rothschild doesn't send those members a bill. They get a bill from us just like you get your water bill. The people that live in Rothschild get a water bill. But in this case, when we have to rely on their system, then they have a PSC rate that says this is what you get to charge Weston when they use your water.
It's pricey.
Yeah.
I just don't think if we wait until next month's meeting for approval on this, that they'll have then time to get all their DNR approvals in place to then hit the shutdown window in May into early June. So we should hopefully have the numbers even to get on maybe the board packet for next week. But the capacity seems to be fairly steady right now, but it can diminish rapidly once stuff starts to kind of clog up. And a few years back, we did have water quality investigations come in to do kind of a study of what the issues are at that well, and they did recommend kind of a process of almost every other year, full rehab of well 2, and then offsetting years with kind of a quick shot chlorination type thing just to get some of the buildup kind of blasted away. So I think what did it say in here? 2024, we did the last kind of full rehab on this. So it seems to be doing okay right now, but like I said, it might diminish quickly, and then we're kind of scrambling and have to get on Rothschild water again. So
we can get our work done during their shutdown.
yes,
Get
they would
all
still
the-
they would still probably be on Rothschild, but it would be just bathrooms and sinks.
I was
and
gonna say, the only thing
It wouldn't be
they need is to
processed.
flush toilet and wash
Yeah.
their hands.
We would still have to provide them with Rothschild's system for Rib Mountain Metro across the river that still need water, and then whoever's in the building still working with sinks and bathrooms and whatnot, so.
Cause
But
I
it's-
know that
it's-
water is expensive from Rothschild.
So do they use that water also for drinking?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your wishes?
I'll move to approve staff, moving forward with the rehab of well two during the Cary plant shutdown in May 2026. As long as the cost proposal is less than the budgeted funds.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed? I have it. Anything else? Item 16, utility rate review.
Yeah, didn't quite get the full, I guess, 2025 numbers done yet, but I guess figured I'd still give you give the committee an update as kind of where we're at. So for the water utility, our total fund revenue was about 4.7 million, and we had 1.44 of that was the PFAS settlement. And then our total fund expense was just under $3 million. So if we remove the interest income of about 270,000, our net income there was a little over 31,000. It's positive, but still it's kind of trending towards maybe needing to do a rate increase. Interest income varies each year based on the market. So I try not to rely on that too much. Although at the same time, we've had discussions about utilizing the PFAS settlement funds to offset future maintenance costs for the filter media replacement. So I guess if we do that, that maybe eases up some of the expense burden too on the operating fund for the water utility. As I look at where we are, again, in the region, we are on the lower end. Point, Rib Mountain, Plover, Croninwater are a little less than us based on a 12,000 gallon bill, but there are plenty of areas that are close to, if not twice as much as what our water bill is in the area as well. Our goal is to never be that high. We like being kind of saying we're on the more affordable side of the water bill. But at the same time, we need to make sure we're providing quality water to our residents as well. That was one thing that came up at the Bladel information meeting was some people said they, we're hoping that the water quality there improves because the Bladel well is one of those that are high in manganese, and some people do experience almost black coffee-like water out of their tap close to that well. So as part of our efforts moving forward would be, making sure that that's rectified. And there are people in that area I know that have seen improved water quality now that we've essentially eliminated using wells 1 and 5 currently for over the winter here. So
what's the schedule for Palladium?
as soon as we get well 3 up and running, we'll then look at 1 and 5 treatment plant. So.
And why do we not want to increase sooner?
We can. The PSC generally, if you are still going through large capital projects, like to see those finished so they have a known cost. Because once you go through a rate case with them, they'll go through and project what your future, debt service payments are going to be, what your depreciation costs maybe move up to, what additional maintenance costs you may have. So if you still have projects ongoing, they like to see you finish those first.
So when would you anticipate going to?
I would guess probably after well 3 work is done, we'd probably look at a rate case with PSC before then we start the next project. So I'd say we're probably looking at maybe 27.
Cause you're operating at a loss right now, right?
No, water, we're operating at a positive net income. I mean, if you look at our interest income, we are, our net revenue for 2026 would have been, I think I included all that.
$31,639.
Yeah, but if you use the interest income, we're at 300,000. Which the interest income is real money. It's,
Okay, I'm sorry, I was looking at the sewer.
yeah, sewer, we're operating at a loss.
Sewer, you're operating at a loss, yeah.
Yeah. So that's, yeah.
So now is that under the same, just sewer we need?
No,
No.
sewer is unregulated, so we can look at upping our sewer revenue as well.
So when are we looking at doing that?
Probably this year. We just want to kind of get our final, so we accrue utility bills, so the February billings still had a quarter of December on them. So kind of waiting for those final numbers to come in to show exactly what 12 months at that last rate increase looks like. So we're currently, at a negative net income of 307. Maybe that'll go down to 200.
You're an accountant,
Yeah, it's not gonna be much,
negative
but
net income.
yeah,
No, there's no such thing, it's a loss.
it's a loss, yes.
Negative income.
Yeah, there's no negative
Yeah.
income.
I mean, at the same time, we are selling our vac truck,
You
which,
got negative oxygen, you die.
yeah. So again,
No,
you
you
know,
have negative
So the back
oxygen,
truck is part of
you'll
the
die.
sewer utility.
yeah, the vac truck is a sewer utility asset, so. You know, had we sold the vac truck in 2025, it would have shown a slight positive income because we would have had the sale of the vac truck in 2025 for the 330,000 that's currently at or higher, so.
So are you bringing a rate increase to the next meeting or?
Yeah, probably either next meeting or May, we'll be trying to get something that's in line there. You know, I know we had one last year.
Pretty significant, I mean, you're at like almost 11% deficit,
Yeah,
right? I mean, that's not inconsequential.
correct, yeah.
Yeah, I guess my comment would be, we need to get that increase in place soon.
Yep.
Like within several months.
Well, but I think it's important that you consider all the factors that go into the actual sewer utility budget. And while I get that it shows, I agree with you that it shows more than 10% at this point. I think you really have to look at the whole calendar year with all of the things that could have been incorporated in that to decide where we are and then compare that maybe to the year or 2 years prior to see where we're actually heading.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difference, so the last couple of years was when the Rim Mountain Sewerage District, went to do their wastewater plant upgrades. It drastically changed our payments to them. So we were trying to, I'll probably do a 2-step increase. So last year was a 1-step to kind of see, last year, we did have a true loss. I mean, that was probably 500,000, I think it was for the sewer utility last year. 2024. Yeah, we were at a $600,000 loss last year. So that was a big one. So right now we're at the 307, but maybe it won't quite be that bad. But so we made up a difference there, but not as big of a difference as maybe we were initially hoping for or predicting. So we'll likely need to do a 2nd step increase to kind of match that remote metro payment.
So if you go with this number, still you're short $300,000.
That's where we currently are. So yeah, so we would need to create another increase here in 2026. Yeah, I don't have a proposed new rate or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to.
How much increase you talking about?
So what, 12% just to get to?
Same amount almost, right?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're looking at say you have a $90 bill. So if we did 12%, we'd be a little over $100. So it'd be about a $10 per quarter, say $3 a month, $3.50 a month type of increase on the sewer side.
That'd be about, what, 67?
Yeah, so I mean, like on this chart, we'd probably switch spots with Merrill, but still be under, Point, Cronin-Wetter, Marshfield, some of those communities, so.
Merrill's 80.
95, so you're probably looking at the water side. Yep, Merrill's 80 on the water. So on the sewer side, I guess that's the one I'm looking at here. So the next page, so we're at 89.25 right now for a 12,000 gallon bill, so. And again, that varies too based on how many people you have in your house, if you use a lot of water or no water. Yeah, but. So, yeah, we'd probably be looking to move one slot down. If we were closer to $100 per 12,000 gallon bill. But I don't know. I guess that's just kind of the update on the utility rates, really. Water, probably okay. Look at a full rate case after the well 3 project, and then sewer, something sooner rather than later.
And when you say we ran a $600,000 deficit last year, plus 300 something, so are we sitting at $1 million deficit we gotta make up when we do the increase? Plus-
No, so we had fund balance.
Cause
So we,
then 12% doesn't get you there, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Correct.
it's gotta be a lot more than 12 to make up for that cumulative deficit.
yeah, no, but we had fund balance that was
It
utilized.
was utilized, okay.
Yeah. No, so.
Other question? Okay, we don't have to take action on this item. Future item 17. Next meeting, Monday, April 13, 2026 at 4:30 PM. That's a regular meeting. Item B, Monday, May 11, 2026 at 4:30 PM. Again, that's a regular meeting. Item 18, topic for future meeting.
Yeah,
Village-wide WPS street lighting update. I thought you had something like that.
we talked about it again a little bit more last month, and I didn't get around to updating that for this month, so try to get that next month's agenda again.
Consolidation of Ryan Street, we're not gonna talk about that. Water main replacement.
Yeah, so we didn't have the numbers. I think we talked about that last meeting, right?
Yeah.
I thought we talked about
Yeah.
that already, yeah.
So we'll be continuing our efforts here this summer to try to get the additional surveys, and then hopefully can submit for a grant in 2027.
Is that using the same company?
Well, they kind of gave us the form, so we will likely probably just try to do it ourselves, or
Okay,
if, once we get the surveys back, then we can maybe see what the submittal process is, all entails.
all right,
All the surveys that we have back now are good for 5 years, so.
Yeah.
all right. Item 19, remark from the staff. Isaac?
Nope, nothing.
Remark from committee member. Roy?
I'm good.
Brett?
Nothing from me.
Right?
Friendly reminder to complete the comp plan survey if you haven't already.
That was history. Done?
It's open till May 15th.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember if we mentioned it or not, but spring weight limits are going into effect tomorrow in the village of Weston, so.
Okay.
I guess if you see signs popping up saying 8-ton weight limit, that's why.
How long is it gonna be on?
Until frost kind of is letting out. Usually it's mid-March to about late April, so. And then I guess if it does, when it does snow, I shouldn't say if, when it does snow, we likely won't be plowing the roads as wide on the non-curb and gutter areas to prevent ripping up yards, so you'll probably just see trucks going out with the front plow down instead of the wing plow as well. So the roads might be a little narrower over these next few snow events. Otherwise, we'll start gouging yards and shoulders. So
I thought they were forecasting snow next
tomorrow, this week,
Tomorrow?
yeah.
week, okay? So ready for it. All right. Item 21, announcement. No announcement. Accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Oh, you're good.
You good? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.